What's up, everybody? My name is Danny Ferrari.
My name is Parker Ament.
We are Excellent Sound, and we are back with the final remake of drum and bass season.
Dude, it's like these guys are the kings of drum and bass right now, dude.
Gotta end it with the legends, right?
Chasing status, dude.
Disconnect.
Status.
Status?
Status or status?
I feel like if you're British, you'd say status.
Chasing status.
Chasing status. It sounds like you're saying Jason Statham.
I was about to say
Jason
that,
Statham.
Jason Statham.
Disconnect. We're super excited to be doing this. We're talking about the melodic lead bass. And of course, you guys don't already know, our brand new production suite drum and bass pack called XENO is just a few days away.
I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah.
This is a long time coming, man.
A long time
coming. Oh my gosh, we've been grinding this pack, dude.
Yes, we have. August 15th is the date. You can sign up for the early access. There's only going to be 1,000 copies available to get all the bonuses. Bonuses include this full project file remake. Of course, all the sounds from it. The project files that we've already done. We've already done some bangers. We already did Mefja Cientello, right? Mefjiz, we did John Summit and Sub Focus Go Back.
Yep.
Chasing Status Disconnect today, so you'll get that. Booze Fuck Jump Up.
Yep,
and
dude.
Bass Tripper in the City.
Oh, yeah. In the city.
5 project file remakes for you guys for being on the early access, for purchasing the first 1,000 copies. And of course, 250 bonus SERUM presets, tons of other amazing sounds in the pack as well. We're gonna be talking about this sound today. It is the lead bass. If you guys wanna go ahead and grab it, it is in the description down below. Just click the link, you can grab that. And if you guys wanna get a project file similar to this one and tons of other ones, check out our Patreon. Link for that is in the bottom as well.
This is a must-have sound, dude.
Yeah, and if you love free drum and bass stuff too, by signing up for the early access or just clicking that link, you get a free drum and bass pack. So just click the link at least to get that. This is for sure a must-have. The bass we're making is essentially this bass right here. Let's play the remake real quick. We did the whole thing. I'll show you some of the remake too. We're making this sound right here. So if you guys don't already know this, we go in and we remake everything, right?
Even the little whistle.
Even the little whistle. It's such a small thing, but like I know it because like I spent time just like making a stupid whistle. It sounds like this. It's actually one of the ambiences in there now, but I made that in SERUM. And then also
nice.
too, the intro. Listen how the cool effects are in the intro. This is actually a SERUM preset that's in the pack.
That's dope. That is super dope.
If you listen to the original song, it's like basically what happens. It matches the pitch and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
We go all out, and of course, like some of these drums are so good too. Oh, the classic drum and bass
dude,
groove.
I love it.
Yeah, all these sounds again are in XENO. So let's jump into making it. We're gonna start with an initiated patch, just like so. It's gonna sound like this. All right, so we got that set up. What's kind of cool about these sort of bass leads is you get sort of an interesting sort of vibe by using these. You kind of create this sort of melodic sense to it, but it also isn't, it's almost like a chord, but it's not. So what's interesting is that it's actually gonna be using 2 oscillators. We're gonna be using the first oscillator. We're gonna start with oscillator A, and we're gonna set this to 2 octaves below, okay? And set it to a saw shape. Oscillator B, this is where we're gonna start getting interesting, okay? So oscillator B is gonna be another saw shape, and this is where you're gonna add 4 semitones to it. We're gonna keep the octave at 0, and what this is gonna do is this is gonna create like a chord sound. Now, we went ahead and added a macro to this because it's nice to be able to blend this in if you want. So if you want, just turn up the volume if you don't wanna do the macro, but I recommend using the macro because it's nice to mix it in however you see fit. That's what the preset has. So yeah, go ahead and add oscillator B. Make sure oscillator A is at -2. Should be sounding like this. Very nice, right? Very nice groove together. All right, once you guys got those oscillators both set up, you can go ahead and initiate your sub, which is what I would recommend doing. We have a little bit more low end. We're using another saw at -2, and then we have that sort of put on a macro as well. So you could turn the level all the way up or add a macro. Should be sounding like this. I love that bounce, that sort of just the saws sort of being at 2 different pitches together at different octaves. It just sounds so nice and clean together. Another cool thing you could do, which we did in this case, is we added a macro to the preset where you can essentially change the semitone pitch. Right now it's just set to +4, but if you put a macro on it and you set it to 34, you can kind of mess with You can get different sort of chords from that, right?
Really cool.
So now we have that. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of release to the sound. So go ahead and add some release to the envelope right here. We have it set to 133. We have like some macros on this too to make it into a stab. We just like making our presets, all the presets in XENO and all our other presets, we try to give you at least 2 in one sound if we can. So if I hold a note, it's a little bit more legato versus making it a stab. You can really tell it's kind of cool. Just a nice little useful thing, especially when we get all the rest of the effects in there. But yeah, if you guys want to do that, you guys can set that.
Super useful.
Yeah, just essentially turns it into like a little bit more of a pluck. We have the sustain coming down and the decay as well. Let's go ahead and jump into the effects. So for the effects, you're gonna want to use a tube distortion first. Have it turned all the way up. Let's hear what that sounds like. It's probably sounding like that for you guys now. It's probably sounding legato. The reason why it's stabbing is because we're using this gate, which we'll talk about in some of the processing. But yeah, now that you got the tube, let's go ahead and add some hyperdimension. Let's get some space going. Go ahead and set the rate to 40, the detune to 25, the mix at 31, the size to 32, and the mix to 61. Nice and spread out for us, just the way we like it. And then let's go ahead and initialize the multi-band compressor. All this is stock, should be 90/90, and then the gain at 12 dB. And then, of course, a little bit of reverb. Just add some nice little characteristic, a little bit of room in there. Very, very subtle. What's kind of cool is what we mean by these like bass leads. Let me just go ahead and just show you guys real quick. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little peek at some of the presets. But Parker came up with this idea of having a bunch of lead basses, which is super, super cool. I never really thought about it. It's really big in drum and bass.
There's no other packs that organize it that way, and they're so hard to find in, you know.
Yes.
I went through other people's drum and bass packs to see like what they were lacking, what like was cool.
Yeah.
And no drum and bass pack divides it up like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We've done this with a couple packs, but we really went in with this one where we essentially categorize the presets more than just what they are so that you can find them a lot easier. So like Belgium lasers are all together. Of course, there's regular basses too. And then there's foghorn basses. There's frog basses. There's, of course, Reese basses.
Look how many Reeses there are.
Yeah, look at all these different Reeses. And this is just in the 175. This isn't looking at. There's roller basses, like stuff that's commonly used in drum and bass. You know, all this stuff is really, really used a lot. You can hear a lot of these types of sounds, you know, Reese's, roller basses. And then, of course, the lead basses, what we and Parker are talking about. These sort of sounds are so cool. They always have like a semitone to them. There's this sound, of course. These are so great. They're so useful.
I love these so much.
You guys will get it. I know a lot of you guys are going to get the pack. You've already signed up for it. But yeah, that's what we mean by lead basses. Just a cool way. So a lot of the melodic drum and bass uses this sort of style. So going back into the sound, now that we have everything already sort of processing, let's hear what it's sounding like. Now you can create this stab. Like I said, you can create the stab this way and just sort of have it be stabby. Now that the processing's there, you can really hear it. But what we did is we used a gate trick, and I'm going to show you guys that. So before we do that, let's get into just a little bit of processing. It's very, very simple. We just have some EQ cutting out the lows. That's because we have an actual sub, a dedicated sub used for that. And then we have a bass amp. This bass amp is really good. This is just adding a little extra distortion. You guys can use whatever you want if you're in a different DAW. Creating that guitar sound to it a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, I love putting that on dual too.
Yeah, dual is the way to do it for sure, like Parker mentioned. Yeah, setting it to dual so it's not just set to mono. These are the settings. And then lastly, a little bit of EQ. We're just kind of pulling out a little bit of the mids up here and then cutting out the lows again. And then here's what's kind of cool is we're using a gate. This is, I don't know if it's, I guess it's sidechain, but essentially what's happening is there's a stab that's a layer that's playing this. This is also like a cool stab sound. It's almost like a lead bass. But anytime this hits, it basically initiates this gate, right? And this gate is set to sidechain from that. And what that does is that anytime it goes over the threshold, it essentially ducks the actual sound. So it kind of creates its own little stab that way. So it's almost like side chaining to it, but it adds just, it's not something you necessarily always have to do, but it adds this sort of cool sort of way of layering it with this stab.
Remember when we were producing with dubs?
Yes.
Chris loved to sidechain synths to other synths.
Yes.
He loved doing it.
Yeah, that was a cool thing that we learned from dubs. That's like an old school trick. But yeah, kind of cool to try to mess around with that. Try sidechaining some of your synths to themselves or to other things, and you can get some kind of cool sort of room. Just something kind of interesting that we did. I thought that was kind of fun. You guys don't have to do it. You can just go create it however you feel. But hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Again, the preset is in the download description down below, and the rack, we went ahead and include that. And of course, XENO, you guys, couple days left, man. It's almost here. I'm so excited.
Thursday, baby.
Thursday, that's right. Again, all the bonuses like we mentioned, 5 project file remakes, 250 SERUM presets, 1,000 copies. Make sure you guys grab yours. We're super stoked. And just for signing up, you get a free drum and bass pack.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything.
And if you guys like all of this free stuff, which I'm guessing you guys do because so many people are signing up,
yeah.
But like we're really trying our hardest to give you guys as much free content as possible.
Yeah.
Because we love doing that. We love giving back to you guys. We wish that there was like producers out there when we were coming up giving away free stuff, you know? There wasn't a lot of free content out there when we started producing. So we really, really want to give back to you guys, and it means a lot to us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for always watching us and following us and supporting us.
Yeah.
And special for those of you stayed along, you guys get a little sneak peek into our next video, which we're going to be using XENO, and we're bringing back the old drop challenge.
Oh yeah,
we haven't done one of these in a while. We're going to do a 20-minute drop challenge using XENO, making the best drum and bass track we can, and we only have 20 minutes to do so.
The timer's going to be on the screen, dude. Yeah. You're going to have 10 minutes. I'm going to have 10 minutes.
We haven't done it in a while, though.
I know, man. We might be a little rusty, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be super fun, so make sure you guys check that video. We're going to drop that after the pack drops. So,
super hype.
See you guys August 15th, 12 p.m. PST, 1,000 copies, early access, XENO. Like the video, subscribe.
Let's get it, baby.
We're out.